Alright, we're getting started now. Welcome guys. This is a official league match for the Reddit Dota 2 League between the Shitty Wizards and Nobody Cares Europe. This is game 2 in a best of 2 series. And casting for you today on this channel is I'm a Bear. So welcome guys. Last game was in favor of Nobody Cares Europe. Quick finish for them. They played a very aggressive strategy and it paid off. So great play coming out from them. And we do see both of the teams are switched sides and they are right into their bands quickly coming out. We do see a Nyx band, we see the Batrider band, and we also see the Darkseer band, who was played last game, but not going to get played this game. Keeper of the Lights band as well. Something to note, Magnus is through. Magnus is through. I don't know what it is about Magnus. I personally don't like playing him, don't like playing against him, but I love watching people play him. And I mean because that reverse polarity is just so game changing sometimes. So if you can tell, I'm getting super excited because I want to see if the Magnus is gonna make it through this round and actually get picked up. So we'll see. And it's actually going to be a Lifestealer picked up first from Nobody Cares, and the Shitty Wizards are going to pick up the Magnus, like I was hoping. So, yay! I get to see Magnus played. He's really funny because I really don't like playing him or playing against him when I'm actually playing, but the second I see him picked up in a game, I love watching it because it's just, it can't, like I said, RPs can be so game-changing and so great. I mean, comboed with, a skewer and a shockwave. It can just dish out so much damage just coming from the Magnus. I mean, if you catch 3 supports in that, they're almost dead already. So, we'll expect to see some aggression coming out from him. I'm curious to see if we're going to see this Magnus go mid lane or off lane. So, we'll watch for that. Shitty Wizards actually are taking a little bit more time on their second pickup. Not sure who they're thinking, and they're actually going to pick up the Rubik and just make sure right off the bat they don't want Magnus's abilities getting stolen. And right now we actually see the offlane picked for Nobody Cares Europe, and it's going to be Bounty Hunter. So it looks like they're looking to dish out a lot of damage on the Shitty Wizards, kind of like they were doing last game. There is a little bit less utility on Nobody Cares at the moment. Which is somewhat fixed by a Templar Assassin, but unfortunately, while there is some to be stolen from Nobody Cares at the moment, for that Rubik, there's not too much to steal. I mean, Track would be a great pickup, giving the Shitty Wizards a little bit of that gold bonus. Unfortunately, nothing from Lifestealer is necessarily helpful for the entirety of the team, and Templar Assassins traps are generally, I mean, that would probably be the only one I would necessarily think is helpful for the entire team. Though in the laning phase, if he can get something, I mean, this would depend on him having level 6 really early, obviously. But if he could get something like that, like the Refraction, he would be able to do very, very well. So, and we actually see the Shitty Wizards picking up the line as well. Clearly, things that there are ultimates there that would not be very helpful if Nobody Cares had a Rubik and they got stolen. That would be a very bad situation for Shitty Wizards. So, it sounded like a really weird sentence, but that's okay. Right now we're going to the second rounds of bans. We're on band 3 for Nobody Cares Europe. I'm expecting to see some carry bands coming out. Maybe a Luna, maybe a Chaos Knight, maybe Anti-Mage. I've seen Void banned as well. Not sure if they want to ban that Alchemist this time. They are going to ban a Void right now for their band 3. And then for the third ban on Shitty Wizards, I'm kind of expecting, they already have their carry, their offlane, and their mid. We're going to see support bans. So expect to see like Leshrac, Shadow Demon's probably going to be out of the pool. Yeah, just think IO might be out of the pool as well, especially because of that Lifestealer. But yeah, we'll see what they're gonna do. About 20 seconds left on the normal ban time. But yeah, Shitty Wizards looks like they're considering. They're considering what they want to do. So I don't know. I don't know what I would pick up right now personally. I might want to see, yeah, they do ban out of Leshrac actually, so, yeah, I'm considering what the Shitty Wizards might pick up as their, I mean, I think they have their tri-lane supports right now in the Rubik and the Lion. They might have their off-lane in the Magnus, though that also very well may be their mid. The only one that's really solid that, nobody cares knows isn't going to be there is their carry. And instead they actually choose to ban out the Wisp, which I don't think was necessarily, I don't think that was necessary, personally, but that's okay. I mean, they just don't want to see him on the table, which, you know, if that's what they want, it's fine with them. There's a Luna through, there is, yeah, there's a Chaos Knight still on the board, unless Shitty Wizards decides to ban it out. And, I mean, there's just, there's still a lot of great players on the board at the moment, so I almost would want to see the Shitty Wizards try to get a, farmed up Chaos Knight, maybe, or a Luna. That might help. They could have their Magnus tank up a little bit, and, yeah, then there's one I actually forgot, was the Gyrocopter, and right now, again, we're kind of seeing that, I mean, it's not a weird mentality necessarily, but, like, kind of that 2 carry mentality. Technically, according to the game, I think they have, like, yeah, they have, technically, according to the game, 3 carries. Because Gyrocopter is not necessarily seen as a carry, but, because of his flak cannon, because of how quickly he can come online and how hard he can hit, especially with the butterfly, he's pretty much a carry. So, I think we are going to see Shitty Wizards pick up maybe the Luna, maybe the, Chaos Knight, since those did make it through. And we actually saw Shitty Wizards ban out that Bane. Instead, we're going to see, wow, we see a Kunkka. I like watching Kunkka play. He can be a very effective carry if he can get the farm up. Generally, if you can see like a Daedalus on him, that's going to really help his damage potential. Something I've actually seen someone pick up instead on a Kunkka is an Abyssal Blade, which might be interesting for Nobody Cares Europe. And actually, we're going to see Jakiro picked up for Nobody Cares Europe. So we're going to probably see Jakiro, Gyro, and Lifestealer in a tri-lane, Templar mid, and Bounty Hunter on that off lane. And then we are going to see, I think Weaver now might be our offlaner for Shitty Wizards, with Kunkka being supported by Lion and Rubik, and the Magnus in maybe mid lane. That's going to be something we're going to have to watch out for. But yeah. I don't know if we're going to see an offensive tri-lane coming out from Shitty Wizards. We might. I mean, it really just depends on the confidence coming out from them. So, starting on Nobody Cares Europe's side, we are going to see Grozima G on Lifestealer, Geppy on Bounty Hunter, L Zilcho on Gyrocopter, B Judd on the Jakiro, and Trash Carry Player going mid with that Templar Assassin. And then on the Shitty Wizard side, we are going to see Smack going mid with the Magnus. We are going to see Empty Forge top on that Rubik. Toast playing the Lion. Now I can read his name finally. 3P Goat. Or no, I think it's John CKO is actually his name. On that Kunkka. And then finally, Capless on the Weaver going to the off lane. So, yeah, we're actually going to see a defensive tri-lane around this Kunkka. So, that makes the most sense. I don't know if they necessarily would have had the ganking power against the Lifestealer and the Gyro and a Jakiro. So there's a lot of good skills on these heroes. Would have made it hard for them. So, yeah. Just gonna wait for things to start up. No one's, I mean, it looks like the Dire is more protective of their jungle than Nobody Cares is being. So, we are going to see a double damage up, and it is actually going to get activated by the Bounty Hunter, who is still under the Shadow Walk. So, he's about to pop out of it, but yeah, he gets that first rune, unfortunately for the Shitty Wizards. So, yeah. Wow, actually we see a first round side or first level side blades picked up from the Templar assassin. It looks like she wants to make sure that there's going to be a decent amount of harass coming out on that Magnus. Unfortunately, that will push the lane slightly. So we'll have to see what she might be thinking with that, because there was actually a little bit coming out on that Magnus as well. The top lane, unfortunately, this bounty hunter is probably only going to be able to sit in XP range and try to get some experience. The Weaver's not doing too terribly well on this bottom lane. I mean, it's going to be a hard one, especially since there are sentry wards. El Zolcho is going to be able to try to keep that Weaver in trouble as much as possible. Mid, we do see a refraction up on the TA, so that's going to make it a little hard for Magnus to harass her. So, actually we see a torrent coming out on the bounty hunter, and while there was a shadow walk done, I think it was a blind, a blind Earth Spike coming out from that lion that caught him. Also, I didn't see the nobody cares flags. Those are actually really clever. So, going mid right now, yeah, it's just, I mean, Templar Assassin is just trying to get her farm, which she is. She is top farmer right now with 11 last hits, only followed by the Lifestealer at 6, and then the Magnus at 5. So she's doing a fantastic job mid. Oh wow, it looks like that the bounty hunter might have been in a little bit of a trouble. It looks like he was trying to stop a pull from happening, which he did. The creeps did get through. And now it looks like he's going to be picking off some of these creeps that were stacked here. So, and now he's also going to prevent the supports from pulling. He's doing a great job of that. They do get the pull off though, thankfully. Though now he is probably going to stick around just to leech this experience from them and split it. But this whole time though, Kunkka is actually in the lane and farming. I'm not going to go focus on him because we do see something happening here. Not too much happening mid, but going back to this bounty hunter right now, you just want to watch what's going to happen. He is going to actually keep these supports from hitting, or from trying to last hit these creeps here. So, yeah. It's kind of unfortunate for the supports because they could use the little extra gold that comes from that. But it looks like the bounty hunter, because of that Janata, is just going to be able to hit that. They do actually lift the bounty hunter. Unfortunately, move Rubik does, it's not gonna be able to be a first blood. So another sentry ward getting dropped by the gyrocopter. He's going a very support gyrocopter right now. Oh, I'm so sorry I'm yawning, guys. I really shouldn't be, but that's okay. We got a pause coming up, but yeah, it looked like that the bounty hunter might have been in a slightly bad situation right now. Yeah. Oh, just missed Ice Path coming out from the Jakiro. That was unfortunate, so. It looks like the bounty hunter is just taking pot shots at the Kunkka. He's pinging. He knows that the bounty hunter is here somewhere. It looks like mid, they might be trying to do something against that TA. And I don't know if that glyph was actually... I think that might have been a mistake, so looks like the Janata is going to get a couple more from the bounty hunter. He's going to be able to take a little bit more off of that Kunkka. Yeah. Just some pings coming out on top of him. He needed that regen, so thankfully he was able to get that. And a great, oh wow, I mean, that bounty hunter's 22 health. Unfortunately, he's not going to have another Tidebringer for 3 seconds, and bounty hunter is just going to be able to walk away. I don't know if they necessarily knew how low that bounty hunter was. That's unfortunate for them. That definitely could have been a first blood in favor of the Kunkka. But yeah, he does regen anyways, and he's fine now. So, yeah, just not a lot slower right now. Which makes sense. There are 2 defensive shard lanes, so they're going to be playing as defensively as possible, making sure that their carries are getting the farm that they need. Oh, great stun actually catching that Weaver, and while the Lifestealer looked like he wanted to go on it for a second, doesn't. Though we are going to actually see a little bit of right-clicking coming out from both of them, and the Weaver actually gets killed first. Not a first blood, but it is a kill on the Weaver with that Lifestealer barely making it out of that. So, great job on him, you know, managing that and doing the open wounds on that Weaver, so that he was getting the little bit of extra damage that let him survive that and actually get a kill. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. Sorry, if I'm going silent, it's because I'm yawning, and I don't know why I'm yawning right now. Anyways, we do see just a little bit of harass coming out from this Magnus. Unfortunately, the Bounty Hunter is kind of having a little bit of problem in this top lane right now. I mean, Kunkka has actually out-leveled him at this point, has his boat up, so, for all intents and purposes, this top lane has gone very well for the shitty wizards. So, though they are actually, the supports are doing a great job as well pulling, despite the little bit of harass that they've had from that Bounty Hunter.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, and the bottom lane is just getting the farm up on their Lifestealer. I mean, their TA is doing fantastic at farming. I mean, 6 minutes and she has 41 last hits. And the Lifestealer is doing decent. So, that's actually a really great deny coming out from that Bounty Hunter. I mean, he's only going to give 100 gold to each of the members of Shitty Wizards now because of that tower going down. Yeah, it looked like that the line was thinking about stunning, or maybe he tried to, and because of that invis, he shift queued on the mana. But actually, there's some damage that's going to come out from the line. Stun does come out on the Bounty Hunter. His Shadow Walk is down, or no, now it was up, sorry, and he just deactivated it, so yeah. Not much you can do against a Bounty Hunter like that. He's very on top of Shadow Walking, and I mean, just, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Unfortunately, he does Janata, the Kunkka, just some right clicks, just for harass. I mean, that's what he should be doing. It's giving him those few seconds in lane to try and get a few lessons. I mean, he only has 8, but it makes sense going up against a tri-lane. So, I mean, he's at least leeching experience. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, just going to hero level real quick. Obviously the mids are the highest, followed up by the carries actually, and then the offlaners. So I was expecting to see the offlaners have a little more, a few more levels than they actually have, but they have been rough offlanes. I mean, Bounty Hunter hasn't been able to do too much to leech experience, and Weaver did die a little earlier, so that was time out of lane for him. So, actually we see the TA chasing the Magnus behind the tower, but thanks to a little bit of bottle regen, that Magnus is gonna get away. So, unfortunately, that was a haste rune used in that instance, but she's gonna actually get a regen rune as kind of a reward, for pushing that Magnus all the way back to base. So, right now the supports are all alone top against the Bounty Hunter. So he's obviously feeling a little more comfortable getting closer, but not too much. It's actually the you know, right now there is the Kunkka bottom, and he did try to boat, but nothing really came of that, unfortunately. So there's a little bit of harass coming out on the Bounty Hunter top, but not too much. And it looks like the Kunkka is actually shifting to mid, and Templar is coming top and gets a pick off on the Lion very quickly, thanks to her Sideblade coming out of that invis. And it looks like the Rubik is in a very tough situation right now, and because of a great management of that meld hit, she does get the kill. So 2 kills going the way of Templar Assassin. I do believe it was both to her. Yes, they were. So great job on their part, picking off those supports who were alone. Now, though, there is the Magnus mid with a level 1 RP. We do see Kunkka up with his boat. So, I mean, there's a great combo in that with the Kunkka boat on top of that Magnus RP if they can land it. So, I mean, there's vision, so they can see this Kunkka sitting here waiting for something. And it looks like the Lifestealer is going to go, and at least if that Kunkka was going to stick around, he was going to try and do something about it, but not too much can be done at the moment. So, Yeah, I think that Lifesteal, yeah, Lifesteal is just going to go back and continue his farming. He is behind that TA. Oh, well, actually, there's going to be open wounds coming out from the Weaver, and a great defensive RP comes out to try and save that Weaver, and it actually is going to save him. So, yeah, it skewered them back and then RP'd. So great job on his part saving that Weaver and keeping the Weaver from having another death going over to nobody cares. So, I mean, there is careful play coming out from both sides. It's just unfortunate because the play isn't necessarily doing what it should be for the shitty wizards. So we do see TA getting a haste rune, and she does encounter the Magnus right now, and unfortunately that Magnus is taking a lot of damage, trying to skewer her back, but she does get the kill on him anyways, and now it looks like the Kunkka might be, wow, that was a great torrent coming out, but the Kunkka might be down as well, just considering the haste. She does, unfortunately the TA does misplace her trap and does not catch her, or catch him, so looks like the Weaver is just having a lot of issues at the moment. With that stun coming after him, and it does catch him behind the tower. It looks like nobody cares is going to get this bottom tower, which it will be the first tower in the game, and it is, but it's not going to be denied. So, and the actual last hit is going to go the way of Lifestealer. So great job on them. Yeah. Defensive TB coming in from the Magnus. He's got about 25 seconds until his RP is back up, and it looks like he is rushing a blink, sitting on 1400 gold right now. Great blink in coming from that TA. Quick meld to take out that Weaver, and unfortunately that skewer, I don't know if it was supposed to pick anyone up. There's a boat coming out, misses everyone. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of unfortunate play coming out with this TA just doing very phenomenally with melding at just the right points. The unfortunate RP does only catch the TA, and the bounty hunter is able to pick him off with a quick Janata. Ice Path missing. There was a lift from the Rubik. Doesn't really stun anyone though, and that line is going to get picked. It is actually, wow, great blinking from this TA. She's just very good at like seeing exactly how much damage it's going to take, and oh wow, 2 kills for her. She's just doing very phenomenally. Oh. Perfect, and the Rubik actually gets a pick off on that bounty hunter thanks to his Fade Bolt, so great job on him picking up the first kill for the shitty wizards. But I mean, just watching that TA with that blink, I mean, I think that's all she actually has. I mean, she has drums, but I mean, really the only big item she has is her blink, and just the damage coming out from her, and it's just a perfect initiations, just really kind of seeing exactly when certain heroes are low and realizing how many hits they're going to need to go down. It looks like that actually Nobody Cares is setting up for something again with her. There's a boat coming out. Torrent does catch the 2 of them. We actually see a skewer under the tower. I think that the bounty hunter might go down. He does go down to the Kunkka, but unfortunately it looks like the Kunkka might go down as well. No, he doesn't. There is an open wound up on the Weaver, but an Infist comes out from the TA, and that Torrent does miss. So yeah, TA does save the Lifestealer there, and all they paid for it was a bounty hunter, which not the best trade in the world, considering I think they picked off 1 person in that engagement. They might have, I'm not sure. But, you know, it's, yeah. But yeah, I mean, by and large, the Radiant 2 carries right now are much more farmed. They aren't really giving shitty wizards the room they need to farm up, which is, I mean, a great job. A great Ice Path coming out from that Jakiro, but it's not going to be used. So yeah, just I think something's going to happen mid. There are 3 here. Actually, the Weaver does get a pickup on the Gyrocopter bottom. Unfortunately, I'm watching for this mid because I feel like something's going to happen soon. But yeah, there's a track coming out on the Rubik. I'm wondering, is the Mag RP up? It is, but he doesn't have the mana. that's something he's going to want to rectify very, very quickly. And there was 2 tracks. Now there is only 1 track up on the Rubik, so it is giving them vision at least on them. Lifestealer is coming back top, picking up some last hits, just chasing this creep wave down. It looks like, unfortunately, the Bounty Hunter is just kind of sitting there waiting. And Shadow Walk is picked up by the Rubik, so
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
it looks like a Shadow Walk Bounty Hunter is actually going to just kind of swing around and see what's happening. Here comes the Jakiro mid just to assist as well. And Rubik is Shadow Walked, kind of just standing up, seeing what is happening, and just trying to be as, you know, giving as much vision as possible for their team. Yeah, Bounty Hunter does get another track off, this time on the Magnus. Unfortunately, he's very low on mana, and at this point, if he was initiated on, there's nothing he could do. Even the skewer being a little off, now he does have it. He did get a potion, or a clarity, but it gets cancelled by a creep. So, yeah. Ping's coming out. I think that we are going to see some TPs top. We do see 1 from the Weaver. And there is a rotation top, so coming from the Rubik and that Lion that are roaming together like best buds. And we are going to see actually the Lifestealer and the Bounty Hunter in the top as well. Not sure if they're going to necessarily initiate. We do see Infest coming from the Lifestealer into the Bounty Hunter. He's going to pop out, and they're going to get that Weaver very quickly. So really great pop out coming from that Lifestealer, just to with using that Infest damage and securing that kill on that Weaver, even though there were 2 other people there. So we do see a boat actually hitting the TA, and we do see an RP used on her. Unfortunately, an Ice Path is going to keep them from solidifying that kill. Some meld damage has come. Stolen Ice Path actually is going to take down the TA. We do see open wounds coming. Jakiro getting a hit off on the Kunkka and taking him down. There was a buyback coming from the TA. She's back mid now. We do see a rage coming out on the Lifestealer. TA blinked back, but now she is moving back as well. A lot happening mid right now, and I mean, I think it's because they want this tower to go down. They want they need to start just taking down these mid towers. So yeah, I mean, there's 3 mid from nobody cares. Mag actually getting his blink dagger now. So, and now we're actually seeing a boat come out for the Kunkka, hitting no one. So unfortunate. He's kind of missed quite a few boats in this game, but I mean, the heroes on Nobody Care Europe side are pretty mobile, so I'm not too surprised. Yeah, and then the Torrent misses as well as that Ice Path. So, but yeah, just everyone kind of chilling mid, just trying to push these lanes. All the while, Gyrocopter's actually just kind of sitting bottom and kind of doing work, just farming up a little bit. Yeah, then that TA was going to try and go in on that Rubik, but nothing really came from that. The entirety of Shitty Wizards is actually sitting mid right now, just kind of waiting and seeing what they can do. We actually almost saw initiation on top of that Bounty Hunter, but nothing really happened there. He was able to just shadow walk away. I'm wondering how the gyrocopter is doing down here. Yeah, he's doing fine. He's actually got a bottle coming to him. At least sitting in his inventory. So, not sure what too much he's doing. TA and Jakiro just going to get another trap up on the wards, or on the rune spot. And it looks like finally the Shitty Wizards are going to rotate away from mid. So, unfortunately they're giving TA the space to get a little more farm. I mean, she has 104 last hits at this point, so at this point I'm going to switch over to KD A. So, And actually looks like there's some happening mid. On top of this Lifestealer, Finger of Death coming out, and actually the Magnus getting the last hit on that Lifestealer. So great job from them. Good utilization of that stolen Ice Path from the Rubik, able to get that pick off on the Lifestealer. So, I mean, the game's not over yet. I mean, even though there's some great play coming out from this TA, which looks like there might be again, even though there is a Ice Path again coming out on the on that TA, Bounty Hunter picking up the Kunkka in the process, but it looks like there might be something, there might be a pick off here. Great time lapse coming out, and there was actually a wonderful stolen Ice Path yet again, though there is going to be a meld, and I think that this, oh wow, evades the damage the Weaver does from the TA. That refraction, unfortunately, coming out of that, a Janata is going to take down the Weaver, and is going to allow that TA to just regen, use that bottle, and pick up this double damage, which is going to be really deadly. So, yeah, and she bottles it up, and now they can be a little more aggressive. The Nobody Cares can. So, yeah, just real quickly, because I realized last game I was kind of lax about this. Yeah, actually another boat coming out. Torrent hitting the gyrocopter, but unfortunately there's an open wounds coming out. Doesn't get caught in the Ice Path. Magnus does come into the middle. Unfortunately tries to skewer, and also it looked like, yeah, there's a call down coming down. Doesn't hit anyone. Magnus is getting chased behind the tower. Trap does hit him. Ice Path coming out from the Rubik. Oh yeah, oh wow, the Lifestealer tries to infist out. Does get an open wounds out on that Weaver, but unfortunately it looks like that Nobody Cares is in a bad situation right now and needs to back off. Oh, that was I mean, only the Kunkka going down in that engagement, but just a lot of back and forth coming from both teams, and unfortunately not too much coming of it. Besides potentially this mid tower going down, which I think is going to happen. So, yeah. Yeah, there goes that mid tower. So, great play coming from both of those teams there. So, but yeah, right now what we do see, there is a kill advantage to Nobody Cares, but I mean, there's only one tower advantage on their side. So, I mean, it's still anyone's game, and they are showing that they can. The Shitty Wizards are showing that they do have the teamfight potential, especially in that last engagement. They were able to scare off Nobody Cares, even though they got the mid tower. They were almost able to turn that around. So, I'm just real quickly looking at the gold per minute. It is largely in favor of the Radiant, just because of their farming potential and because of the lead that they have right now, over 10,000 in favor of them. And then XP isn't it is higher, but it's not terribly higher. I mean, there is only almost 1,000. I mean, there's almost a 10th. I guess it is a lot. It's almost a 10,000 difference in XP earned. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I do think that they still have a chance. I still think there's some great carry potential. Wow. Yeah, actually there is going to be a good game called at this point. So 23 minutes, they're done. So, yeah, that's actually really surprising. So, yeah, good game, I guess, to Nobody Cares Europe. So they're going to take both games. Unfortunately, I really think that they, I mean, I really think that they had that the Shitty Wizard had some potential to come back from this, but I don't know. It looked like there were more issues than just like connection kind of stuff or playing stuff. So yeah, because I mean, honestly, the amount of team fight that the Shitty Wizards would have been able to pull off. I mean, if they could have gotten a Kunkka boat on top of that Magnus RP, which I kind of talked about earlier. And I mean, that Rubik did get a great steal with that Ice Path. If he could have had that again and just kind of started setting things up, I think it really could have turned around. But unfortunately, it's not. We do have the GGs called, so they're just destroying towers now at this point, just pushing a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's just, I mean, once GG's called, that's what happens. So, I mean, good game to both teams. Great play coming out from Nobody Cares Europe, especially from that TA. That one engagement bottom where she was diving and picking off heroes, just getting a triple kill, I believe. It was some great moves coming out from her. So, good game to both teams. This was a Reddit Dota 2 League official matchup between Nobody Cares Europe and the Shitty Wizards. Best of 2 series, going largely in favor of Nobody Cares Europe, and they're going to take the win for this. So, great play coming out from both teams. My name is I'm a Bear, and I hope you've enjoyed watching these games with me today. So, have a good day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.